In the Adventures of Stealth Archer 5, Skyrim, there are great many ways to play the game. You got your stealth, your archery, and probably some other stuff that nobody cares about. But what if you wanted to beat the game without any of that fancy nonsense? Yo dudes and dudettes, this is Ketchu. Here to answer the question, can you beat Skyrim with Only Unarmed? Like any overused isekai trope, we woke up to a world of fantasy, where carriages are propelled by horses. Sometimes the motor gets jammed, and then the whole wagon starts doing gymnastics. It's magic. I don't have to explain anything.
Just works.
To pack the most punch, I picked Khajiit as my race, which is a nice change of pace, since I usually play Nord 100% of the most of the time. Named myself Paul Mittens to honor the source of my inspiration, and to really hammer in the point that it will be indeed my mittens doing all the damage.
Your kind always seems to find trouble.
Well, that's racist.
What should we do?
He goes to the block.
By your orders, Captain.
Wait, just like that? No trial?
We'll make sure your remains are turned to elsewhere.
Well, as long as they're going somewhere.
Next, the cat.
Okay, you're racist. That term is offensive. We prefer kitty. That reminds me, when's the last meal?
With the help of a chicken and the power of plot armor, I escaped to a nearby tower and launched myself up the stairs to get a better look at the powdery peril.
The spicy chicken.
Alduin tried to get my attention, but I kept ignoring her. That's how you train your chicken. When she misbehaves, don't reward her with attention. I might be thinking of fire whispering techniques. At the meaningless crossroads, I chose to follow the side who didn't try to mount my head on a wall without giving me the right to an attorney. Inside Helgen Keep, Raylov cut my paws loose, and I inspected my fur to make sure it's nice and clean. Gotta look good for the powdery apocalypse. When the Imperials arrived to do the thing that happens when you intentionally steer your car off the road, Raylov told me to hide, and I was supposed to be the pussy here.
Perish!
With the loot of the dead Imperial soldiers now hugging my body snugly and armed with determination, I was ready to claw my way out.
Now stay down and think about what you've done.
After stealing everything in the storage room, I met Lord Palpatine doing a sidekick to finance his future Imperial aspirations.
Unlimited power. Do it.
Later on, Raylov suggested I'd pick the lock to a storage unit. He was only saying that because I'm a Khajiit.
Ah, that was a good read. Thanks for waiting, by the way.
Rest of the tutorial soldiers didn't pose much of a challenge, but the last one throwing slurs while backpedaling was clearly got above the rest. After playing pest control, I got sent forward in time when I was playing with some bones.
Oh wow. Okay, you don't mess with rib cages.
In the last part of the cave, Raylov insisted we sneak past the sleeping bear.
Alright, buddy.
Follow your lead.
I'm trying to be as quiet as I can. Sneaking is for weaklings, Raylov. Let me show you how it's done. Take this punch! Hey, do you think she had cops? If so, they won't make it without her. Hey, do you think it's okay to add them to my KD too?
It's probably best if we split up.
But it's something that I said. Okay, you go that way. I go home.
On my way to Megaton, I rubbed my pheromones against the warrior stone and stumbled upon a camp full of mice that showed no fear, probably because of toxoplasmosis. Naturally, I thoroughly enjoyed my all-you-can-beat buffet.
Huh. I think you're bleeding.
Really? Where exactly? And here we are. Riverwood. Hey there, Smith. I just came from Helgen. I met some bandits and doggies on the way, and now I'm not hungry anymore.
While talking to Hrothgar, I was distracted by this guy staring at me, like I'd look at a chocolate cake, and then there was the whole situation with a mud crab in the background demanding my undivided attention.
Look at that mud crab going back there.
Hrothgar then handed me the key to the Hrothgar then handed me the key to the house for whatever reason, and all her belongings. The folks in Riverwood know how to treat guests.
I'm glad to help any way I can.
Thank you. Personal space?
Rudolph handed me an intrusive quest that will now forever sit in my quest log. This brings my piss to a boil. I followed Herb to their house, collected everything I could legally take since I was now obviously the family pet. I, of course, accidentally picked that one item I wasn't supposed to take.
What do you think you're doing?
Frick, I messed up.
And did it all over again with momentum gained from the loading screen.
Well, one of us has to do something.
I said no. No adventures, no... A customer. Sorry you had to hear that.
Yeah, it was kind of embarrassing.
Maybe you could talk some sense into my pig-headed brother.
Huh? I think that's offensive to orcs.
You're a strapping young man. Don't be a stranger.
Oh, I was gonna ask if she does her own makeup, but if she's into cats, I better not burn that bridge. Come here, I'm hungry. I'm not going into water. I don't like water. It's a cat thing. Did you guys catch that on your own? You gonna eat that? If not, tips.
Near Whiterun, I joined a lynch mob bullying a giant, hitting it where it hurts, the knees. From there, it was time to catch a ride.
Taxi!
Thanks to my new family, I could easily afford the trip to Riften.
Oh boy, what a nice sleep.
Oh, it's still dark out. I better get back to sleep then.
In the morning, I got held up at the door by the guard, Toll or something.
What's the tax fare?
The guard mouthed some nonsense. I threatened him with my best Clint Eastwood impression. He unlocked the gate for me.
So are you going to enter? Shut up. Don't rush me. You wouldn't get it. It's a cat thing.
I couldn't resist striking up a conversation with Mule the lioness, given her perfectly catastic name, hoping to kindle a positively romantic connection. I thought I had a chance, but maybe I was just kitten myself. However, as I chased my tail down the path of tastefully feline romance, I realized I should have been more attentive to what she was saying. My mind was wandering elsewhere.
Safe travels.
After that failed conversation, my train of thought was interrupted by this cartoon character.
You better watch your ass around here.
Kitty punch. Now think about what you've done.
I didn't come to Riften without a purpose. It's only in this town where I can get the one enchantment that really matters.
Ratway, but if it... Shut the freak up! Ratway, what a fitting name for this place.
Trust me, I wouldn't have been down there in any other case. It was such a pain to lick myself clean after that. It was time to teach the whole ratvat of my peaceful ways, by force.
I'm going to burglarize you! I told you guys I had an idea. But did you listen? No! And you know what? I'm just going to pee on you now.
After that snuggle scuffle, I had my first level up. I invested in heavy armor because I want fists of steel. Unarmed attacks with heavy armor gauntlets do their armor rating in damage. You can probably see where this is going.
I'm so happy about that level up that I'm gonna have a nap.
Na 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 na. Na 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 na.
With some good sleep behind me, I spent some time admiring the torch casting a shadow all over me. Is this what a blacklight is?
Consider that lesson learned. Rat! What were you thinking? You're a rat. I'm a cat.
I'm a kitty cat. A meow meow meow, a meow meow meow. Cat. I'm a kitty cat. A meow meow meow, a meow meow meow.
Hello, I'm here for my clothes. The mittens are now mine. Hey, look, a bear trap. By the rule of dibs, all of this stuff are now belong to me. Thanks for your crappy broken stuff. No bye.
On my way out, I somehow got lost in the two-way street, pulled an axe out of a log that was lit up all dramatic-like, to see if I'd be crowned king, lost the fight against my instincts, and started chasing butterflies.
There's the other one.
While wearing down the floor in my confusion, I stopped to say hi to Lowlife. That's not me being mean. It was her parents who decided her fate with a name like that.
Mine.
Next, I was stopped by a puzzle in my way that I totally didn't see on my way in.
Finally, fresh air.
Zooming into the castle, I tore my new gauntlets apart and learned me a fisting enchantment. Next, raising the local smith with my magnificent mask. I used his equipment like I owned the place, all in pursuit of refining my armor.
That's some good armor you've put together.
I bet you say that to everyone.
With my armor finally polished, it was time to sprinkle magic into my claw holders. 1 damage. Awesome.
Watching you reminds me of my first days as an enchanter.
Oh, did you go for a boxing enchantment too?
And just like that, we were done with Riften for now. Next target, Halted Stream Camp.
Looking for a handout.
No, stay away from me! Yeah. Oh, it's nighttime again. Alright, time to sleep. Hey, you. Make room. Oy. Man, what a great sleep.
For the next part of my plan, I needed ore, and as a local house cat, I knew exactly where to get some, and set sail from Whiterun.
Good morning. Rude.
Some bandits were standing between me and there. I handed them a knuckle sandwich as a breakfast. Except for the mage. She got taken out by friendly fire. I shook hands with my unlikely ally. A mudcrat showed up, and I left the second archer alive to tell the tale. That was a lie. I just didn't want to backtrack. I put a pack of puppers to sleep, and realized the angry archerina was still trying to score an arrow on me.
Are you still on about that?
Upon reaching Dustman's cairn, I realized I was lost, and found 2 more packs of puppies. What a great day that turned out to be. Close to mortal, I accepted that my memory is RNG based, and tried to find my target again, this time north from Whiterun. It impressed me how many doggos I got to pet that day, and while I was having fun catching bees, another cute furball came to chew my face.
Again? I should try capturing you to make a kennel. Where would it be?
Meeting the bandits littering the scenery in the operation zone, I had no issues on issuing a rousing round of assault on their physical ne'er-do-well beings.
You'll make a fine rug, cat.
That's offensive. Since your parents didn't teach you manners, I guess I'll have to do it.
Inside the mine, I stopped to study a weird circle shape on the floor and decided to step on it with my pedaling limbs.
Did somebody knock?
I was there for the ball. I performed an adequate show and thanked my partner for the dance. While snatching everything, I over-encumbered myself. Disappointingly, I had to get rid of my drums and my extra shovels. I don't know what a spigot was, but it sounded offensive. Tankards, wooden ladles, blades, and other assorted treasures also had to be sewn on the floor. I had a good look at my hoarding tendencies, learned nothing.
Gotta have a sharp axe to cut through all that fat.
Did you call me fat?
I defeated all the bandits in the mine without any problems. It was as smooth as a cat's paw, no matter how you scratch it. I went back to Whiterun to pawn the bandits' prized possessions.
Excuse me, what's this line for? Do I smell or something?
I stuffed the fellow feline full of junk, exchanging it all for caps.
May your road lead you to warm sands.
I don't like sand. It's coarse, rough, and it gets everywhere. But thank you. Have a nice evening too. Enjoy your time in the rain, I guess.
Now allow me to impress you not only with my awful mining technique, which is no doubt blowing out the discs in my spine, but the amount of time it takes to mine a single node of ore.
And that's how long it took to mine just one of them. Now let's repeat that 100 more times.
After approximately a million years, the ore was pocketed. I looked for more shinies, picked an extremely tough log, and found the bandits' acupressure spike mat.
Halt!
To enter Whiterun, I had to charm the guard.
Fine, but we'll be keeping an eye on you.
Well, I hope you like what you see.
For my next trick, I began stuffing my ores into the smelter in Whiterun. After smelting down everything I could and staring at a locked merchant door, it was back to the Mauser merchant, who provided 24 hours a day service.
May your road lead you to...
Yeah, up yours too, buddy.
While exercising my smithing, I created a new set of armor for myself. It was a fashion choice.
Yeah, classic.
After using rest of the materials to create daggers, I slept under the bridge like the troll that I am, showed my chunk, bought more materials and fabricated more daggers.
Have you met my father? He's a steward up at Dragon's Reach.
I don't remember asking.
Rinse and repeat and level up until you're out of money.
That's not nearly enough for what I need. So to keep going, we need to find a job.
You tried mercenary work? It might suit you.
Now that's an excellent idea, actually. Where else could we find work? A tavern. Let's get in there and ask around.
Welcome. Let me know if you want anything. Think I got a clean mug around here somewhere.
Okay, thank you. I'm here to just find a job. Act normally. I don't normally socialize. Let's have a beer to calm down my nerves.
Sadia, wake up, dear.
Yes, Mum. You want a drink?
Yeah, sure. Just one or two.
Now, please, no more questions.
Yeah, I didn't ask anything. For directions. A job or some... The freak you're looking at! That's right! Put up your dukes, Peach! Hey, you're pretty good. I'm looking to get a job from the Jarl. barf food or something. Wanna join up?
Let's not waste any time.
Nice, welcome aboard. Something tells me that this is going to be the best adventure ever.
After passing out and waking up next to Uthgerd, the now broken, I told her I had to get to work fast and that I'd call her later and speeded out of there. Informing Jarl Barfgruel about the chili chicken at Helgen, I made sure to wear my best cloth. Patringer the court jester gave me a mission. Yeah, he's carried that nickname since high school. You can probably guess what trick he tried to use to impress the ladies. He was under the impression that I had experience with dragons. It was right there in my resume next to my Excel skills. After cunning the flatulent flute into hiring me, I was off to find the dragonstone.
You're mine!
Are you flirting with me?
Between here and there, some bandits wasted the general oxygen supply. I took the diplomatic approach by killing them all. Inside the Bleak Temple, I gave the bouncing bandits the Hulk to Loki treatment and made up with the puzzled outlaw. I stood before the brainlet filter, understanding the now recently passed outlaw's plight. Eventually I figured out the puzzle, didn't even break a sweat.
Hey, that worked!
After that, I pest controlled some skeevers and a giant freaking spider.
Over here.
Yeah, just calm down, stay put. Hey, this could have been you. What do you think about that? Stupid.
With one more rat dead, I had a good tussle with some Draugr, who all got up from their slumber out of respect. Did you know that they taste like fermented chicken jerky?
That's it, I think I got everything. What? Didn't hurt one bit. Hey, wake up!
I smashed more Draugr, kept one of them alive as a personal heavy armor trainer, and knocked on the puzzle door to see if anyone was home.
Wow, it worked!
Inside the master bedroom, I learned me a word, handed the overlord some kitty punches for interrupting my spelling lessons, and recovered the dragonstone. Before returning the stone to Patringer, I activated the mage stone and concentrated on improving my enchanting skills.
Frick.
I'm not allowed to deal damage with spells or weapons, so I can't buy empty soul gems for cheap and stuff them. I need to buy them filled, and I can't use any exploits. I have to do it the hard way. Usually what I do is keep the well-rested bonus up at all times, buy materials, craft iron daggers, buy cheap soul gems, look for soul trap enchantment, shove it into a dagger, stuff your cheap soul gems with whatever souls, enchant new soul steel dagger, enchant rest as whatever nets you the most cash, and then bankrupt the town. With this tactic, you'll turn profit and easily level up your enchant and smithing. Between bankrupting towns, either quick save, punch merchant, quick load to reset inventory, or just switch towns. 3 hours and a cherry on top later, my enchantment and smithing hit max level. As I'm writing this narration, I just realized Soul Trap doesn't do damage, and I could have totally used it. Frick me jogging.
Frickin' finally I'm done!
While I was out hunting for supplies to finance my hobbies by introducing bad lads into the soil, my armor skill increased to 30, so now I can punch with the armor value of my gloves. From here on out, all that is left is getting hit by enemies and perhaps donning better armor around my torso. Armor upgraded to punch harder. I listened in on Patringer simping for a lady. He forcefully made me listen to him after I was done with enchanting, and I handed him the dragonstone. I got bored. Word of a dragon attack. Jarl told me to deal with it, and paid me with worthless boots. Irlet let me outside, gave a speech to me and her men, and some stupid child stopped by to tell me about her day.
I work with my mother, sell fruits and vegetables. It's fun most days, hard work.
Pick off, kid.
Outside near the tower, I had a 12-hour nap and was surprised to see the place was still on fire. I tried to block the guard from informing us about the flying Frickernaut, but he just forced his way through me, no problem. The issue with being a melee fighter is trying to reach the soaring powdery menace.
Get down here! Stupid chicken.
Luckily the god of this universe, Todd, coded their genetics in a way where they land on the ground just to get pounded on the snout.
Yeah, take that, you derpy duck. Blech, what a great meal.
I gave the world the mightiest burp yet, and I wasn't done, not even a little. I don't handle spicy food well.
That's the
I got a bit of indigestion from eating the dragon.
As a reward for bringing down the big pigeon, the Jarl handed me a worthless axe and an axe, which I ignored, and I was off to do some hiking. On my way to Hrothgar, I assaulted an old man, met a necromancer, and got a moose in my headlights. Little further down the road, I stopped by a bandit toll and paid them all a beating.
He missed point blank.
The last guy got extra attention from me. I toyed with my prey, and it's not because I'm mean, but because it's a cat thing. He helped me level up my heavy armor, and in the end, I let him go.
If you love something, set it free. No. Come on now, I'm giving you freedom, just go. Ugh. You're so disappointing. Be free, my son. I love being the good guy.
Continuing my travels, I met a night wizard who sent me running with my whiskers frozen. Back on track, I witnessed nature do its thing with selection and all that.
Impressive. You wanna come with me? Yeah, let's go together. Come on.
I adopted a spider and had it accompany me on my travels. Until the fine folks at a miners' camp decided I needed to find better friends. Didn't have to travel alone for long. Baloo joined me on my travels. I screamed a goat off a mountain, and 2 more companions joined my motley crew.
I feel like a Disney princess.
After an extended amount of losing mass slowly like Hawking radiation, my puppies eventually gave up on grating my skin, realizing they lost more calories than gained. Meeting Klimek and picking up his supplies, I propelled myself up the mountain. The hike was nice, good cardio. I got to slap a troll's bottom. I tried screaming another goat off the mountain, but it held on to its dear life. There was a hunter, and later a frost troll. The pale orangutan slapped my daylights out. I ran for my dear 9 lives. Tried to get the hunter involved, but that wasn't happening. In the end, I ignored the troll and kept trucking on. Another troll stood before me higher up the mountain. I pulled up my big boy pants and boxed it into submission. Sometimes, you just gotta believe in yourself. Reaching Hrothgar, I left Klimek's supplies in the chest, along with Arvel's journal, frostbite venom, and 2 steel arrows. They'll know what it means. Inside, I met the Grey Men, expecting a good fight.
We had some choir lessons instead.
Feeling the hardness of my tent, and discovered I can speed up the conversation by cutting them off by invading their personal space. We also did some sprinting lessons in the backyard later, before I received a quest from Master Angsty to find a grave whistle hidden in Ustengrav. Once inside, I mostly defeated the element-wielding weaklings. At first, I powered down the Draugrs, but that didn't do much for me. I realized the only way to level up from there is to let them pummel me, unless they were spellcasters, cause that's just annoying. Deeper inside, I turned all the joints in my lower body into powder diving into a pool, and learned to become ethanol shout. I tried to kill some 8-legged freaks with floor traps, but got bored in about 2 seconds. Stumbling upon where the whistle should be, there was a note instead, inviting me to Rivet City. Back at Good Springs, I had a nap in the middle of the road, got woken up by cultists, got assaulted by a courier with conversation when the fighting started. That was real helpful. I watched the village and the cultists duke it out, which resulted in 3 people coming down with a case of death. I stole all their stuff, but that's not because I'm a Khajiit, it's just in my nature. Wait, no. After hammering and enchanting my new helmet and gloves, I sold my latest assortment of junk around Whiterun. Back at Riverwood, I invaded the Sleeping Giant Inn, asked Belle for an attic room, got sent to a normal room instead. I had a good 12-hour nap. Belle had been waiting for me the whole time, staring at me while I slept, like a psycho. She handed me the whistle I wanted and began leading me into her dungeon. I got a little too excited and ate all the ingredients in my pocket. I stole everything on the way down, and while appropriating the stuff in her dungeon, some guy came running down the stairs and called me lucky for finding all that stuff just lying around. After Belle was done making sounds with her mouth, I stole and ate the rest of the stuff. On my way to Kynesgrove, I collided with a goat and stuffed it into my face. Arriving at my destination, a distraught villager came running towards me, and Belle told me to hurry up. Sensing the urgency of the situation, I had my usual 12-hour nap, gathered all the crops on the plot nearby, and ate them since I was understandably hungry after my quick power nap. Alduin, the biggest bad homicidal gecko goose with attitude problems, was resurrecting her kin, and I decided to stand in the way to see what would happen. The fight was nothing special. I beat the feathered loot dispenser's fanny, pooped it on the snout, and ate it.
I am indubitable.
I made a soup bowl and new claw holders from its body parts, bought a storage in town from Jarl's booth, and wore the bowl on my head. Upon returning the grape whistle, I was surrounded by old men in bathrobes screaming at me. I, of course, undressed myself for the occasion. Following that experience, I yoinked all the food I could find, including Klimek's supplies, and proceeded to cram down all of it. Back outside, I discovered a dead mammoth and 2 poachers. Upset at the loss of innocent life, looking hungrily at another farm, I led the two reprobates to a pair of mammoths and wondered how they ever scored the kill in the first place. I played with the two magnificent creatures until I saw the giant running over. It was past my playtime. I went to find me another word of power for the upcoming spelling bee. My new companions took down some bad lads for me. I let them nibble me until my heavy armor reached 50 before petting them into sleep. Inside another boring tomb, I sprinted around stealing everything while ignoring the Hrothgar. Upon reaching the end, the overload crashed against my fist. I learned a new shout and almost ruined my day by nearly grabbing the out-of-shape golf ball.
Oh lord, what do we say to Meridia's beacon? Not today!
Back at Belle's fornication basement, I got a new mission to crash a party. In my confusion, I burglarized the belongings of a mudcrab family, crashing their family reunion. Arriving at Solitude, I spent some time spectating a fun family event.
You gonna eat that?
Then I handed Marlborough most of my everything for smuggling.
Your job is to get into the party without being fingered as a spy. I'll take care of the rest.
Ho 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 ho. Without being fingered, eh? I don't think they'll have a choice when they see this handsome mug.
You can't go to a party at the Thalmor embassy dressed like that.
Excuse me, I beg to differ.
I invaded the Thalmor embassy fully in the nude, just to prove Belle wrong. I got in no problem. I stole everything worth grabbing, including the food, and asked the racist waitress for a drink.
I'm sorry, but I think you've had enough for the moment.
I haven't had any yet.
What does a fellow need to do to get a drink around here?
I know, right?
This gentleman and I were very distraught by the lack of alcohol. I instigated him onto a warpath of complaint over the issue. While that commotion was going on, I pilfered all the goods from there on out, including the equipment and lives of the guards. I spent unnecessarily long in the embassy, because I wanted to take everything valuable that wasn't nailed down, and sent all the Thalmor into the great jackass farm upstate. In the last room, I grilled a prisoner for information. Some more guards showed up, Marlborough failed a skill check and got unalived. I avenged my long-eared brother and masked his death as a party-related accident. I'm sure he would have appreciated. The scene gave the impression that he had a great deal of fun before passing on. I also slipped in 5 tomatoes in his pocket so he can pay the ferryman. On the way out, the prisoner I rescued decided to be annoying and blocked my path. I used a technique I like to call 1000 years of agony to get him out of the way, and the resident troll almost got through my resistance to dying. Back at Riverwood, freak off! Back at Riverwood, I sold a golden claw to Luke, and Carmilla flirted with me. Again, it was never going to work. I'm a man, she's a woman. We're just too different.
It's nice to see the corpse is still here. Nobody's bothered to move her.
Next came rescuing Esbern and stealing what was left at the inn.
We got rooms and food. Drink too. I cook. Ain't much else to tell.
That's good, because I didn't ask.
It was back into the same rat hole where I got my mittens long ago.
Scully, if you know what's good for you.
Okay.
Inside, I had a 12-hour nap, then got lost for an extended period of time. You see, I was supposed to talk to Brynjolf about Esbern's location. There's no way in heck I'm torturing myself with a conversation with that idiot. I'm about as stubborn as an old turtle, and with enough time passed, I found some Thalmor tossing around. That's when I knew I was on the right path.
You wish to defeat me? Impossible.
She talks big for someone so idiot.
I found the paranoid old cave dweller, got assaulted by someone's missing cat on the street level, and I had a good time playing with it. I dragged Esbern to the Rivet City Inn. He and Belle started catching up. I had one of my classic 12-hour naps, and they were still talking when I woke up. I'm glad I missed most of that conversation.
Things are about to get freaky.
After what I'm going to leave to your imagination, we gathered around the table to listen to the old lunatic's ramblings, set course for Skyhaven Temple, and I had a good meal before leaving. Stopping by Valkyrie to grind my gear, I convinced the blacksmith to pay me 25 gold for a job I'm never going to do, and wrapped this beautiful temple that I call my body with a new snuggly shell, setting my paws on mortal for fun and variety. I ate the contents of a nearby farm, found another deformed vulture while on the road, followed it to a camp of indigenous people of Skyrim, and did what colonists do best. Nobody survived. As a cherry on top, another great meal. While delivering home the chicken bones to make a broth later, Esbern and Belle stalked their way into my home. for whatever reason. I never agreed to travel with those losers. Inside the Cave of Wonders, more indigenous people. I saw the puzzle, got set on fire by another blockhead filter, and ate a hamburger to see if I still feel. Esbern creamed all over the wall ornament. Hi Hrothgar again. I ate some transparent ice eels on the mountain and met with the leader of Greybeards.
Drem Yolok, greetings, Wundernik. I am Parthenax.
Why do they always mix languages like this?
Well, senor, I'm here to meet you in your casa. I didn't think Draken would be an amigo.
Ah, I have expected you, Proda.
Yeah, brother.
As is tradition among the wordy poultry, I mounted fire on him as I sneezed and was off to find me an Elderscroll, trademark. Over at Winterhold, I bothered the wrinkled green dustbin until he gave me what I wanted, held hands with death while under the influence of become unethical south to shortcut my way down. I felt it in my stomach. And played with some tusked porker seals to increase my heavy armor skill. Invading into the damp, dark hole of Septimus, I took possession of his pet rock. Venturing onwards, I ate another deformed discount eagle on the way to another icy cave. Inside, I watched my new friend fight with the Dwemer alarm clocks, took him exploring with me, watched him get deleted by the roly-polies, and ignored the mechanical menace chasing me.
Whoops.
Entering the next area, I was pleased to see that my entourage didn't forget about me. The Dwemer contraptions don't handle their own traps very well, I found out. I tried squashing an alarm clock spider with an iron gate and screamed myself down another shortcut. I sprinted past the farmer, the centurion, some explorers, entered the jellyfish fields of Bikini Bottom, and found the toilet paper I was looking for. I delivered the inscribed pet rock to Septimus expecting a reward. I did get to meet a senpai from another hentai. That was neat, I guess. Back at the Greybeard Mountains, I sneezed on the toilet paper, got high on catnip, at the weirdest trip. Alduin came over to play. I wanted to greet her naked, not the best idea I ever had. She then broke the game. Reload. I screamed her off the sky, decked her in the snars, and the giant freaking loser ran away. Before leaving, I had a chat with the wind. Next, I bought all the decorations for my house, despite never going back there. I talked to Jarl, Angelica, watched the master vampire get lynched. I wonder what his plan was. Met with General I have no problem killing innocents, Jarl idiot, and held a peace council. I didn't side with Ulfric, but against Tullius. That's what you get for trying to kill me. I will remember it forever. And yes, I am that petty. I also kicked the Talmor biscuit out before starting. Talmor have no place in Skyrim. At the end, Belle told me to either kill my dog or they won't work with me anymore. And that's when I cut my connections with those losers. With the civil war now over, I used my body to seduce a dragon, gave him a kiss before mounting him in front of everyone. I rode the dragon until Skyhaven and received another kiss, before setting the course for Sovngarde. Inside the temple, I had some trouble figuring out a puzzle. I missed the lever I was supposed to pull. Being surrounded by the overexcited fossilized turds might have had something to do with it. I made my way to Sovngarde's door no problem. There was some kind of a stuff there, but I clearly didn't need to fiddle with it. In the afterlife, I met with Jun, Yiskamor, and the Three Stooges. We went outside together to scream at the clouds until Susan the sad seagull arrived, and I ripped her nostrils off and threw them on the roof. Before leaving Sovngarde, I tried entering the Hall of Whatever again, to steal everything inside, because I was curious to see if I could bring the stuff with me. Turns out, they locked me out, clever dicks. Jun ruptured my eardrums when sending me out. Back at the Throat of the World, I saw the most chickens I've ever seen. I laid down my 2 buckets and uttered a sort of chunk as a peace offering. Almost got squashed when my old friend dropped by to make sure I'd call him again.
Call me when you have need, and I will come if I can.
What's your number?
And I did not beat Skyrim with Only Unarmed. And that's it for this time, folks. Yeah, the game did force me to use shouts and stuff. Do you think it counts? I kind of wish that I raised my heavy armor to the max too. I'm curious to see the max potential of this build without exploits. There also doesn't seem to be a finishing blow animation against dragons for the unarmed fighters. Oh, do the engagement things to help me out? Tell me in the comments what I could have done better, or if you have other challenges/games for me to play. Thanks for watching, see you next time, take care now, bye bye then.